Hello, welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, we're going to talk about the draconic ruler of water, Cora'Legra. Stay tuned. Okay, so this week we're going to be discussing the draconic ruler of water, Cora'Legra. Now this is actually one of my favorite rulers. I know I probably keep saying that in all these videos. I do really enjoy working with these dragons, and over the years I've built up a really good friendship with all of them. But for me, I've always had a love for water. So me and Cora, we tend to really bond over that love of water. Now, let's start the video with let's show Cora'Legra herself. This is actually the artwork our artist has done for Cora'Legra. And I think that she did a fantastic job actually showing this dragon and just how big it is, because you do actually see a well over here, and down here somewhere there's actually a shark. Can't remember exactly where it's at. Oh, it's just right down here in the corner. But gives a good idea of her appearance, and also we'll go ahead and real quick share her sigil here. Now, Cora'Legra is a wonderful dragon to work with, especially for those of us who love the water. So before we jump into more of my direct experiences with her and sharing on that, let's actually talk about some of the areas that Cora'Legra has direct power over. And again, as in all these videos with talking about these entities and these rulers, this is just a short list to get you started should you be interested in working with these dragons. So real quickly, Cora'Legra is excellent in areas concerning healing, emotions, calm, nurturing, and weather. Now, most people do know water and healing go together. Water and emotions go together. Sometimes I do get questions about nurturing. They're like, is the ocean nurturing? And the answer to that is yes. The ocean provides life and sustenance for many people, if not everyone in the world in some way. So it is a very nurturing area. And I should probably say the water itself, because let's be honest, water is considered the key element of life. So, yeah, nurturing is definitely something that's going to come up there. Now, some other areas that work in is compassion, sadness, cold, cleansing, life, growth, wrath, giving, taking, love, and jealousy. Now, wrath. That one really throws people off. When they do think of the ocean, they tend to think of island life, the good life, happy times at summer, the ocean giving fish and food and water and just a bountiful plenty for all. And this is the idea a lot of people have when they work with water entities. The problem is they tend to forget how wrathful and vengeful the ocean can be. Think of hurricanes, whirlpools, massive storms, flooding. All this stuff is still the water. It is still the ocean. What the ocean gives, it can take away in an instant. And this is the darker side of water. And if you're going to work with water, you need to understand these concepts. And especially approaching this draconic ruler, because all dragons are going to seek to teach you to know yourself fully. So if you have anger issues, if you have depression issues, if you have any emotional issue at all that you've not dealt with, when you approach a water entity, and especially Cora'Legra, those currents are going to be churned up like a giant maelstrom and just brought to the top for you to confront. And you will be caught in that storm of emotions. And you're going to need to confront them to find that healing. This is one of the rougher dragons to work with when it comes to that healing aspect, because it does hit you so full force. I've always equated it to hurricane force winds, and I'm talking top end. You either work with it or it's just going to blow you away with no concerns. So you do have to be ready for that when you approach this entity. Now, Cora'Legra is pretty good about, letting you know what you need to work on and helping you along with it. Where people get in trouble is they refuse to do the working, or they do one quick meditation and they're like, okay, I'm better, and they go on. But the root of the issue is still there, and it's still churning underneath like an undertow, and it will get a hold of them, and it will drag them back under later. You can bet on it. And it will sink you. So when you go to work with Cora'Legra, understand she is a wonderful entity to work with. She is kind. She is caring. But when it comes time to do works like that, you really need to be ready, and you really need to see it all the way through, because it will come back to haunt you. You can bet on it. Now, that said, I did tell you all I have a love for the ocean. I always have. Marine biology was something I wanted to study for many years, looked into it, and it's still a passive hobby of mine. And I'm also a Parrot Head or a Jimmy Buffett fan, so I know I don't look the part, do I? I'm probably the only one that would stand down at a concert. But I am, and my love of the ocean is where me and Cora'Legra really bonded. So anytime I go to the lake or head to the ocean, her and I really do work together anytime I go out to these places and spend the day. Oftentimes she even joins me if I'm just out in the backyard grilling, because again, I'm out in the sun enjoying the time out there and having a good time. And she has taught me so much on how to unwind and relax after a hard day than probably any other entity I've worked with, and I thank her for that. Because many of you know I am a workaholic. I enjoy my work. I do, don't get me wrong. I don't regret when I work. But I do enjoy it to the point where I forget to relax. I really do. But Cora is always there to help remind me. It's like, Drake, slow it down, bring it back in, sit down, have a beverage, and just relax and enjoy just being here for a moment. And we usually do end up with maybe a margarita or a cold beer, and of course the grill lit. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a wonderful way to do it. Sometimes she just makes me calm down and read or listen to music. All these are great things about Cora'Legra. But don't let that get you into a false complacency, because when it's time to work, when it's time to face a challenge, she will expect you to face it head on. And she will give you no quarter about whether or not this issue is going to be dealt with. You will either deal with it head on and all the way to the finish, or you can guarantee that undertow will drag you under until you decide to face it. You will not outrun it. This is really the downside of working with dragons. They will not let you outrun your problems. They will see to it that you have asked for their help. You have brought them into this. They will see to it you face your problems all the way to the end, one way or the other. And that is really their job in the multiverse. That's how the balance is maintained. You can't grow and you can't heal if you run away from your problems. And honestly, Cora, more than any of the other rulers, at least the first four, she's the harshest when it comes to those emotions and dealing with those issues. But she's all about fighting hard through that storm to find that peace and that relaxation. And when you find peace through Cora'Legra, it is a peace that it's unlike anything you felt before. It is a true peace. You are at peace, you are relaxed, you are content, you are happy. Everything is right in the world, if only for a time. But perhaps one of Cora'Legra's most important lessons, in my opinion, is adaptability. She has taught me more than most when it comes to adaptability. Life is always changing. Nothing will stay the same, and nothing's ever going to go exactly as you think it will. You can have a plan, you can have a strategy But there will be bumps in the road. There will be changes that you didn't expect, that you don't want to happen. But you can adapt to the new situations. You can adapt to these new events. Life will throw you curveballs, and learning to adapt, learning the skills, the mentality, to adapt to the situation, not letting it stress you out, not letting it get you down, not letting it send you into a spiral of depression. Don't let the changes drown you. Don't let them overtake you. Don't let them control you. You are in control of your life, your path. You're steering the ship. And because of that, you can adapt to any situation. You might have to change your techniques a little. You might have to change some of your patterns or habits. But you can always adapt to a new situation if you put your mind to it and your skills to it. After all, we're magicians in this. We are masters of our own life. Why should we allow changes or deviations to affect us? We have the ability to master ourselves and therefore adapt to any situation that comes our direction, and to also steer it to a direction we would probably prefer in the future as well. Now, with that said, I do encourage you to work with Cora'Legra, get to know her. Just like the rest of the rulers, she is a great dragon to hang out with and get to know. Offerings, honestly, she loves anything from water. I do find she likes beer, though she tends to be a Heffenweisen or a lager gal. She really does. Oh, and speaking of which, in her human appearance, she does often appear usually in a long blue dress or some form of island wear. It differs. I've seen her in more Hawaiian islandy wear, but she definitely does come off with that islander appearance to her. Anything from what you would expect in Hawaii to even Jamaica. I think more often than not, her humanoid appearance comes in from that Jamaican perspective when I'm working with her. It's hard because she does shift back and forth so much, and I do work with her a lot when she's in her draconic form, so it's been a while. But from my memory, she does tend to prefer that Jamaican, Caribbean kind of aesthetic, which it really suits her personality, in my opinion. And now she may appear to you all very differently, and she may find an aesthetic that suits your particular personality better. But this is just the norm that I see and that many of my students have reported as well. So definitely take the time, reach out to Cora'Legra, get to know her. Make sure you do have a guardian dragon and a co-magician before you go seeing her, because I know a lot of people, they have emotional issues they're not aware of, and approaching this dragon unaware of those issues without a guardian and a co-magician might get you in a little trouble. It's not saying you can't, not saying you can't at all, but you could find yourself hit and overwhelmed without realizing it. So it's just a precaution, and as an instructor and a teacher presenting this information, I always like to tell you to check all the boxes before you dive in too deep and get in trouble. So if you can, check out our video on the guided meditation for finding a guardian dragon, as well as the video on co-magicians. And if you're interested in the artwork for the rulers, head over to workingdragonmystic.com. There will be a link below. You can click on the merchandise tab. There you'll find all the Working Dragon Mystic merchandise, from magic circles for dragon magic, all the artwork for the 9 rulers that has already been completed. I think we only have 2 more rulers left at the time of this video being recorded. We also have altar cloths that can be laid down, and we even have stickers of the Dragon's Eye seal that you can add to your grimoires and journals, like I have here. It's a great way to make sure you have it with you so you can work with it at all times, and you can even get the canvases of it as well. Also at workingdragonmystic.com you can find our online classes. Currently the Dragon Magic 101 class is one of the most popular ones there. Everyone who's taken it is absolutely loving it and loving getting to know these entities far better. And it won't be long before the Dragon Magic 102 course will be following that up as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. And join me every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Research and Ramblings of a Mage, and Sunday at 8 p.m. for the Magical Coffee Hour. And we do now have a Patreon, so if you would like to sign up for Patreon, support the channel and support the cause of getting this information out to the seekers, hop over there. There will be a link below, and show your support for the channel and the work that we do. All the different tiers come with perks, early updates to things we're doing, even spells that are shared nowhere else. I actually share spells with my Patreon members from my personal work that's tried and true that I haven't shared anywhere else. And you can even get coupons for classes as well as merchandise in some of the tiers. So hop over there, support the channel if you like. And until next time, I'm Drake, and this has been Working Dragon Mystic. Take it easy.